Hello and welcome in. We are back here in Falconer City, Skylines 2, and we are here on a moving in day. All of this area that you can see here is going to be built and people are going to be moving in. Now, I had actually gridded and roaded all of this area all up at the end of last episode, so it was all basically ready because I don't necessarily know how long these are going to take. If I do too long of a speed, sort of a time-lapse speed build, too little, I don't know yet. It's something that I'm going to have to work on and think about in the future. But anyway, I said about in last episode that we were going to have parking as an issue, and you wonderful people here were so great and pointed out the road builder mod, which I actually had for, it's like a dependency for this map. I did not even think about it, but you guys lovingly did and pointed out that I can now put parking on this side of alleyways. So I have come through and I've done all of that in there. So we now have parking. On some places I've done it on the left hand side, some I've done it on the right. There is one little stretch where I've done it in the middle, and let me know what you think about that. It's a little bit controversial. It is a teeny tiny little road that I hope isn't too bad. But I'm going to let you enjoy the time lapse for today. It is quite a long one, but I will see you closer to the end. Until then, bye everyone! Okay, we are back. That whole area has now been built up. We've sort of decorated some areas, we've got the trees in, we've got planting in, and now we're going to do the one thing that I think is important in every UK town, and that is the local pub. You might have noticed I've been looking at this area for a while and I didn't know what to do with it, and it was just a bit of an odd little space, and I thought, you know what, this will work perfectly for a pub. I've got to be honest, I thought it was a bit bigger of a venue than what it actually turned out to be, so we kind of improvised a little bit into here, and we placed down some parking, and we kind of decorated it all up as well. That back section, which you didn't actually see in the times, I have come along and done it. I just wanted to keep this video as short as possible because I feel like these are quite long, and I just thought it would be a little bit easier if they were a tad shorter, so I've kind of cut that bit out into there. But yeah, I really wanted to end this with me actually talking to you into here as well. And yeah, now you can sort of see we are decorating all that, and for some weird stupid reason the decals on the floor, surface paint, just did not work. I don't know why, but we saw it in the end. Anyhow, if you have enjoyed this video, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It would mean so very, very much to me. Plans for the future, I would like to get in the St Thomas industrial area all sorted. That is going to be the other side of the train station. If you weren't aware, you might have seen that in the background. That is just going to be kind of like soft industry, a little bit more commercial, kind of your big box warehouses, and also things like your road depot, your parks, that sort of thing. I'm kind of thinking that they might work a little bit more in there. And then we also have the other kind of industry area over the other side where we have the water, sort of like the sewage systems and things like that. We've got those in, so that's what we're going to be focusing on next week, next video, sorry, but that's in the future. Yeah, we've basically jumped from having like hardly anybody in here to nearly 6,000, which I think is a huge boost. And yeah, we now have quite a few sort of jobs, and because we did a little bit of industry, office space, sorry, and some commercial and things like that in there as well. So there are plenty of sort of jobs for people. I don't think it's like we need more jobs. That is something we desperately need. I think with the industries, that's something that hopefully we would sort of even out a little bit. But that is coming up in here. I'm just trying to find some decorations. I was looking for some like big commercial bins. I have gone through and downloaded a few more assets, including some more train stations, because I thought they would be perfect for sort of future areas in there. So hopefully we can get those in. And yeah, I'm always looking for more assets. So if you have any that you think would really work, or maybe you're an asset builder, let me know. Always sort of on the lookout. Every time I sort of go into game, the first thing I do is sort of go on to I'm going to call it a gallery, the sort of collection on Paradox Mods, and to see what's available and what's new and things like that. So yeah, I've got a couple of parks, a couple of train stations. I think that's really it at the moment. Yeah, a couple of sports grounds as well. Yeah, I think I've got the Oval, which is cricket, and I think the Old Trafford Stadium, which my little heart is not liking, but it was the only one available. Anyway, into there for any sports fans. We will probably be getting something in, maybe as like a national sort of stadium, more than like a cup stadium, but that's in the future. Long-term sorts of plans, maybe more in the sort of downtown sort of city area on the other side, when we actually get all of that done in there. But yeah, I am actually liking how much this has sort of improved, especially because we've also been going through the seasons. So we started off pretty much in summer. We're now in autumn, kind of November time. I did actually have to take a break because it snowed over everything. We had some like really early snowfall, and one thing I just could not build in it. So I may end up turning snow off. I've got to be fair, if this is a UK inspired town, we don't really get snow very often. It occasionally, but it's mainly just rain. We're not really cold enough for snow here in the UK. So yeah, if that's a possibility, I might have a play around with some settings before next time into that. But I'm loving how sort of golden all of the trees, and it just feels very, very real now. I'm very kind of right in there. Now we have got quite a large parking space here for this pub. I have got to be honest, it was tad extreme, but we need parking. Because there are so many people like just parking, and there's so many people walking as well. It's one thing I did notice, there is just like too many people walking. It's kind of a tad OTT. We got also in the bus line, so we've set all of that up, but yeah, the amount of people actually just walking everywhere is kind of ridiculous, and proved a little bit challenging in some areas. So we are already having traffic jams, and the road into the city is basically just blocked. That is a weird fact that we're just going to have to deal with. I think we need more than one connection coming in off of the motorway. We have one at the moment where everybody seems to be coming in from. There are some others around. Maybe I might do a time lapse in next episode of like another sort of motorway add-on kind of entrance into here, especially because if we're going to be getting lots of sort of lorries with cargo and things like that coming in and out of the city, yeah, that's something I think we are going to have to look at into there. But that's for future. As I say, now we are just kind of finishing off this little pub by adding a little bit of a wall along the front. It just looked a little bit too open, and I've got to be honest, if you come out of the pub late at night after a few, you don't really want to be facing a road straight on like that. So I just thought a nice little safety kind of sort of wall into there would actually be a really nice little feature into there. And a few little decorations just to make this look a little bit more realistic. I will change these, do not worry, in here. They are all twisted for some weird, stupid reason. There is also a slope here. You might notice here with the walls, everything is kind of on that little angled sort of drop down. I flattened most of the map out, especially this area over here, but yeah, parts of it just were too extreme, and I had already kind of built in certain areas. So yeah, I've given you a few little entrance ways into this pub. I don't necessarily know if people will actually use that, but yeah, it's in there. And we also just decorate the sort of front here, a few more little benches and some more planters, just because they're gorgeous and I really like how those are in. But yeah, we are coming up to some cinematics at the end of this. I actually took a few more. I think that also shows off just how many people are walking around this city. So yeah, I will leave you with those, and I will see you next time. But until then, bye everyone!